Usually when we think of self-harm, we think of cutting, burning, bruising with an intention to harm yourself. But looking at the definition of what it means to self-harm, it focuses on deliberation, the deliberateness of the act that you're doing. What that means is that you're consciously doing it, you know that it's happening, and you're also intentionally doing it, which means you're deciding. For that reason, self-harm can include so many things, including upkeeping a relationship with your mom that shrinks you and causes your identity to shift into just that of daughterhood and nothing else. My name is Dr. Dilecia. I'm a licensed therapist, a mother-daughter trauma recovery expert, and the executive producer behind Mother-Daughter Trauma Recovery TV, which is what you're watching right now. Today, I'm going to be sharing 5 signs that your relationship with your mother is self-harm and not you being a good daughter. So let's get right into it. The premise behind self-harm is performing actions that you know are going to distress you, distract you, or destroy you. For many women, anything regarding their mother is going to fit in one of those 3 categories. And as a result, we have a responsibility to ourselves to decide to set boundaries and navigate the relationship in a way that is going to allow us to not harm ourselves. Unfortunately, that does not happen, and here are some of the ways that it doesn't happen. The first sign that your relationship with your mom is self-harm and not actual daughterhood is that you tolerate things from her that you would never tolerate from other people. That means that she's able to get away with things. She's not on as short of a leash as everybody else. You give her a lot of grace. You sometimes probably even justify the things that she's done based on things that she's been through in the past or what she's going through right now. But there's an awful lot of consideration given for her that you would not give to other people. That doesn't mean that you don't give other people grace, but it just means that you have a lot more boundaries when it comes to them, and you are willing to navigate those relationships and advocate for yourself and show up and request that the other person shows up in a way that benefits you. Mutually beneficial and reciprocal is what you look for in other relationships, and you don't with your mom. Number 2, you're overstepping your boundaries in order to meet a need or a want of your mom's. Now, this happens sometimes in any relationship, right? If somebody's sick, if somebody's in an emergency, we might decide, okay, I need to put this thing aside that I really want to do in order to show up for this relationship and this person. But this becomes out of hand when it's something that you do every single time. There's almost no room for, if any room, for you to make decisions for yourself. You're always going against what you want to do and doing exactly what your mom wants to do. That is not love. The third sign that you're harming yourself in the name of being a good daughter is that you take the blame for conflict that your mom caused. So perhaps you two get into a disagreement. She's not going to call you. She's not going to apologize. She's going to stonewall you until you decide that she was right and you were wrong and you drop the issue. That is not daughtering, but a lot of women find themselves in that situation where their moms refuse to take accountability, and they are always the person who has to muster up the wherewithal to decide that, you know what, I was wrong in that situation, mom, and we can just completely squash it. In those dynamics, you're constantly shrinking yourself, you're eroding your self-esteem, and your conflict management skills are not able to really cultivate themselves. And that means that when you go into other relationships, that you're more likely to recreate that behavior and never actually get what you deserve and want out of the people that are around you. Number 4, you avoid necessary conversations in order to keep your mom from feeling feelings of discomfort or anger. So what this means is that you're prone to emotional manipulation. Mom knows that if she sheds a tear, if she starts to show a little bit of sign of distress, that you're going to drop the subject. So what that means is that she's never being held accountable. She's not being held responsible. It's tough to have a conversation with her to really just reflect on something that happened in the relationship because she's not going to have it. And you are feeding right into it. You're falling for the okie doke and you're just like, you know what? I'm not even going to get her to the point where she starts crying or showing signs of distress. I'm just not even going to bring it up. I'm going to quiet what I have to say, and I'm just going to deal with whatever the consequences are of whatever she does whenever she does it. So again, you're shrinking yourself. And that is really what self-harm is when it comes to mother-daughter relationships. You become very small, who your mom wants you to become very big. And that ends up spreading into other areas of your life. And before you know it, you don't know how to be anything other than be her daughter. The last sign that your love for your mom has gone too far and it's now self-harm is that you organize your day and your life according to what she needs. So her schedule, her needs, her wants are all what you do. Now, again, this is another one of those examples where it is barring emergencies. I realize that some people are caregivers for their mom. That's a whole nother video. I also realize that some people, your mom may fall on hard times and it may be something that you decide to do in order to be there for her. But for some people, this is their actual life, where they wake up in the morning and everything that their mom wants to be done is what's done. There are also ways to manage yourself in a medical emergency or a family emergency that will still protect you, your schedule, your desires, your needs, protect the things that you have going on and allow you to navigate it in a way that doesn't fully consume you. And that's something that many women are not aware of either. So you don't, even in emergencies, have to completely unwind yourself. But it often happens, and it happens in a reality for some people on an every single day basis. If you're doing this, you're not showing up as yourself in your life. You are just blank's child. And I want more for you than that because I know that you want more than that. So if you are ready to make that jump, learn how to set boundaries, learn how to figure out who you are and restructure your life so that it benefits you, look down in the description box below. There's an opportunity to work with me for therapy or for one of the therapists that I supervise, and I want you to take advantage of it. I also want you to look at the articles that I have written on this subject, on other subjects related to mother-daughter trauma recovery, so that you can learn to understand more about how this manifests in your life. And one of those articles is an article about today's subject. It shares 2 bonus signs that your relationship with your mom is no longer love and it actually is self-harm. So check out that information below and I will see you next time. Bye.